No Evil is the brand new movie that just hit theaters. Film's directed and written by James Watkins and is based off of the 2022 Danish movie. In this film, a family that is struggling to stay together. Louise, played by Mackenzie Davis, her husband Ben, played by Scoot McNairy, and their young daughter Agnes, played by Alex West Leffler, go on a family trip to try to bond and save their marriage. But along the way, they meet another family that seems to be having a good time. That is Patty, played by James McAvoy, Sierra, played by Aisling Francosi, and Ant, played by Dan Huff. Patty and his family invite the Daltons to go back to their residence on the countryside, secluded from everyone, and things seem to be a bit weird. The film is an hour and 50 minutes and is rated R. I'm Max Stenberg. Welcome back to a brand new review here on Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. We're doing so good right now. Let's get even better. 250 subscribers, the next big goal here for the channel. So help us by getting there, by subscribing, ring the bell. I do movie and TV show reviews, out of theater reactions, which I did do for Speak No Evil, movie franchise rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single Tuesday. So if you like any one of those things, subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. First of all, have you seen the original Danish film from 2 years ago? Are there some differences between this one and that one? If you did not, did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Or are you skipping this and you feel like this is more of a streaming movie than one to pay a ticket to go to at the box office? And also, please like the video. So I did not see the original Danish movie. James McAvoy is my favorite actor. He just has always been my guy. I love him in everything he's in, if the movies are good or not. And he's playing another kind of psychotic dude, and he is not kind of, he is playing a psychotic dude in this movie. So I was excited. That's all I cared about. Let's get in my thoughts. Now, this is a movie that could easily be criticized because you definitely have seen this movie before. If it's a family, if it's one person, they're kind of going through a kind of a life crisis, and they see a nice family or a nice person who invites them off to their lodge or house where it's so secluded, where there's no neighbors. They feel like they're by themselves. And you've seen that things start to feel off and things happen. The plot, the premise are all things that you've seen before. But for me, I think this is one of the better ones. I think of this genre, as they say, or that premise. This movie is an absolute blast, really from start to finish. I was chuckling the entire movie because the movie does have some awkward moments because Mackenzie Davis and her family feel like a very stereotypical family. And then when you run into the family led by James McAvoy, the way they talk to people is different. Their cadences, what they think is normal is not normal. And the back and forth between an absolute normal family and an absolute kind of psycho family and the way they interact with people, even before things start to turn bad, brings a lot of comedy. I was not sure how the comedy would be, but I found this movie to be actually very funny, intentionally so. There are some moments that, yes, maybe they were cringe, but I found this movie to be kind of really funny, but also very dark and very thrilling. Even though this movie's not making a major plot twist or turn, you definitely know where the movie is going if you've seen movies like these. But even so, you kind of feel like, oh, I don't want this to happen to these people, or you kind of feel nervous because James McAvoy is so threatening in this movie. And that's what I want to say first, why the movie works. The cast is really strong here. James McAvoy is terrific in this film. He's my favorite actor, as I said, and he's very good at playing the psycho-like person. And this is some of the best casting that I've seen in a movie all year because McAvoy brings that charisma, that the way he goes about himself before they go back to the lodge. You would understand in the family's shoes why they were, first of all, interested in talking with this family and maybe even thinking about going on a trip to this person's place. Because McAvoy has so much charm and charisma. He does feel like a normal human being in the first 30 minutes of the movie. But you can also buy at the same time that he's one of the craziest people you'll ever meet. And he's so entertaining in this movie. There are times where you can't stop laughing with him. And then the next scene, you're absolutely terrified. He got in such amazing shape. Now, I don't know if he got in shape for the movie or just his life, he's never been more jacked or more in shape, I guess, from a look perspective than this movie. And you feel that throughout the entire film, especially when things are not going well. His chemistry with his wife in the film, played by Francosi, is very good. I didn't know how much they would give his wife's character, but she gets a lot of things to do. But what needs the movie to kind of work is that you're rooting for the Daltons. And I found myself definitely rooting for the Daltons. Mackenzie Davis has gone very under the radar the last 10 years, but whenever she's in a movie, I always enjoy Mackenzie Davis. Scoot McNairy also does a very solid job. The child performances, I think, are also very strong in this movie, especially Dan Huff as Ant, who is the child of McAvoy's character. He has a very tough role, and I explained the reason why he has a difficult performance, because the trailers don't give that away, so I won't give that away to you. But he has a very difficult job, especially for any actor, the job that he's given based on his character. And I thought for a child, even for a regular performance, it was a really terrific performance. As I said, I had a lot of fun. I was thrilled. I was on the edge of my seat, and I love the ensemble was very solid, and I love the lead performance in this movie. So these are the type of movies that, yes, could be disposable, could not be, but for me, this wasn't, because I had a really good time in the theater. My theater had a lot of clapping moments. It was in laughter for the most of it. So this is my type of movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're not a big James McAvoy fan, you probably won't, but I am. So I definitely enjoyed that. But on a negative level, you've seen this plot before. The beats, you know what's kind of coming next throughout the entire film. And I think the biggest problem with this premise that needs to be changed if more movies are going to be made like this is characters do have to make just idiotic decisions for the plot to continue. And I think in these types of home invasion or whatever it is, like home invasion type movies, I guess that we can call this, characters always make stupid decisions. And I think the way to change it, make this genre or premise even more special, is characters who think and react like real people. There's a bit too many times in the movie where characters just make outrageously stupid decisions to keep the plot going. And there's a big moment in the second act where you're like, if this didn't happen, would we even have a movie, basically? And if the characters had a brain, maybe things would be different. But overall, though, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I can't wait to rewatch it multiple times over, because I had a blast with it. It's not one of the best movies of the year, but I thoroughly enjoyed Speak No Evil. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, 74%. What are your thoughts on Speak No Evil? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll talk to you guys soon.